Fabian, welcome to the show, O-line.
Thanks for having me, guys.
I'm a big fan of O-line, man. As a running back, O-line are my favorite people on the field. In fact, I just heard a quote from Jim Harbaugh, I think it was, who said, O-line is the only position on offense that doesn't need anybody else, and everybody else can't do anything without them. They're the most important position on the field, and so having a really solid O-line is key, man. Welcome to the show.
Totally. I agree with him. Thanks. Thank you.
I'm going to start with something that I thought was really, really cool. I'm going to skip completely, go straight to you like yoga and horseback riding. Is that true?
True. It's true.
I would just love to see how you're 1.97 meters tall, 120 kilograms. Are you in a yoga studio with a bunch of?
No, it's something I do on my own. It's like
okay. Because I was gonna say, can we get some video of that?
Jeez, please no. Bro, it's horrible.
It says in your bio that you use that in your training regimen. How does yoga and horseback riding help you?
Well, it's stability first of all over the horseback thing, but I don't do it as much anymore. The yoga thing is something that really helps just being able to move around and being efficient with your movements. Being strong and having control of your trunk, being able to move your body at will as you want to. Right.
That's facts right there, man. That's super facts. So you signed with the Cologne Centurions. You played last year with Paris, correct?
I was with them for a week, and then I came back and signed with the Centurions again.
Okay. So tell me about that move.
Well, first off, I wanted to explore like different options outside of Cologne for the first time or second time in my career. And when I got there, it just wasn't for me. I didn't speak the language, and it's hard to, be in Paris without speaking French. And people would tell you. It was an ideal situation for me personally, and that's why I just didn't go through with it.
How does it feel a lot of people totally overlook Cologne, myself included. Why tell me how do you get the motivation? What is your mindset going in on this season? How do we be a successful team when a team just right down the road has taken so many good players? There's the storyline of good Cologne players getting taken from the Rhine Fire. How do you stay focused on a goal when you have them right up the road?
Well, for me personally, I'm a Cologne guy. I've always been a Cologne guy. I started playing at 10 years old with the Cologne Falcons, and I would never leave the city of Cologne ever again. That was a one-time mistake last year. I would never do it again. But I would stay focused. For me, it's a personal thing. I love the culture here. I love the people here. It's a great city, and for me, it's just something personal. I wanted to be successful in Cologne. That's why I coach youth football here. I want the city of Cologne to be recognized as a good football city, and I want it to be fundamentally sound starting from the youth, and I want to be part of it. Like, I want to build something. I don't want to be part of something that's already built, and that's why I get my motivation from is trying to be a leader with these guys. We brought in a bunch of guys that haven't been in the ELF yet on the offensive line, trying to be a leader, trying to be even the group of men, like you said, the offensive line is the most important unit on the field. And I think with Coach Stud, we acquired the right coach to really implement that mindset. We need to find a identity as a team. We need to finally settle down and win some of the tight games that we've lost. I think last year sometimes was just getting over the hump. If you lose so many games, sometimes it's hard to get back to being successful. And that's been the story for us the last two years, honestly. We started off well year two, started off semi-well last year too against Paris, could have won that game. If you start off 2-0, a season might look totally different.
Right.
You start off 0-2, all of a sudden you're wondering, all right, are we really that good? Are we even any good? And I think that's just what it's going to take for us. Find a mentality, finally get back to what that year one mentality, run the fucking football,
That's right. You were part of the offensive line that paved the way for Mondre London's historic season back in the day. Now you have a new O-line coach you touched on, Coach Stud, former assistant at Ohio State. What's it like having his experience and his knowledge in the room?
Oh, it's great. You know, it's we've already had like 26 hours of meeting time, so he's a guy that has a lot to say, and you certainly will listen when someone like that has something to say to you. And he's been in touch with us. We've been sending him videotapes. He's been asking us to run certain drills. We've been doing that. So I'm just excited to see what he can do with us, you know, as a group, and excited to see what this unit will do. You know, I like the mentality they have. I like what we're going to do on offense. I mean, on paper at least, you know, you still got to go out there and execute it. But I like what we want to do, and that's motivating. You know, it's something to look forward to.
Have you become sort of the player coach on the ground with the Centurions O-line, with Coach Stud being back in the States?
Well, he's asked me to. I kind of try to be more like a leader that's just, you know, coach asked me to run those drills. Let's do those drills, guys. I'm not trying to be like that dick on the field or something. But we will coach each other. We will coach each other up. Like, we hold each other accountable because we want things done a certain way. And if you're not going to do it that way, well, we're going to tell you. We're gonna let you know, because we want it done that way and do it that way. Other than that, if you don't do it, like, if everybody does what they want to do, it's not going to work, you know.
I mean, you must have been in the States for a little bit.
I have been. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Where were you in the States? Because you sound like you learned your accent in like the Midwest or something.
Oh, that's totally correct. I was in the Midwest. I was in Chicago when I was a junior. Played high school football there for a year, and then got heavily recruited out of high school, and then got back home. Personal issues, like my family sickness with my grandma, so I didn't go to college. Just grinded it out here, and the ELF came, and it was like blessing in disguise for me, because it was all I ever dreamed of, you know, playing for the Cologne Centurions. Ever since I was a kid, you know, it was like when I started playing football. It's a big deal for me.
That's awesome, man. I can tell that you got a deep love for Cologne and a loyalty. I think in order for this league to really be all that it can be, we need more players like you on each team. Players who grew up in an area and they say, I want to stay here and build my team up. I don't want to just leave and go to a better place. And I think if we had 90% of the players like you, then I think the league would be pretty balanced, because there's some good players all around the countries. It's just that they leave and go to other teams.
Yes, it's I don't want to bash anybody that goes to a better situation, because it's understandable. But at the end of the day, like, I don't want the easy road. You know, if it's easy, it's not worth having. That's what my mentality is in those type of things. I'm not a team hopper type of guy, you know. It's just not who I am.
Well, I'm impressed, Fabian. You raised the status of the Cologne Centurions for me. Not much, but you did.
A little bit.
Yeah, we really appreciate you having. You're an inspiration, man. I'm excited to meet you in Cologne one day, and I just hope more players will be just like you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, guys.